pick them up like that.
Do you go with the smooth southpaw boxing of Cory Spinks, who's dominated for much of this, or the hardened, come forward, non-stop throttle of Ricardo Mayorga?
Well, it can be non-stop in this last round, that's for sure. Spinks needs to win it. Keep moving, that's good boxing. He's landed the better punches so far.
Do you believe it's all on this last round?
I do, yes, I do. And I'm convinced it's in the split. Again, the legs look tired, it's just a push over, and he went down voluntarily there just to get the break, I think.
He must have jogged miles and miles in that ring tonight, Cory Spinks. He's been so effective with that style, the southpaw stance, giving Ricardo Mayorga difficulty. Hasn't moved his head, but he has charged forward and has always been in the fight.
When Spinks is doing this, he's winning the round. It's when he does this and gets involved and allows Mayorga to unload some punches on him. But he's boxing well at this moment.
No punching, no punching,
Good shots, combinations.
Bobbing and weaving again, Spinks, but he can't get out of the way of all of them this late on. Just a minute and a half of the world welterweight title fight to go. It's been a good one. It's been very competitive.
And the crowd cheer a shot there from Spinks. He's winning this last round for me, but he needs to keep away. Good boxing, good movement, good countering too.
Ricardo Mayorga will have to eat his words for this one. Cory Spinks is no bum. Cory Spinks is a world-class fighter. Will he unify the titles, or will Mayorga?
There's a minute to go now for Spinks. He's tired, that's for sure. Keep dancing, son, that's what he needs to do. Good right-hand counter.
The Spinks family in the corner, and Kevin Cunningham, who's been with him for so long, the former St. Louis policeman.
Both corners going crazy at him.
Well, they both know how close it is. And, well, it's razors, no knockdown to Mayorga. Camper going mad about that.
I don't think it was.
Well, all sorts of drama. 2 points off Mayorga, remember, in the 5th and 11th. Spinks, who had such a good start, outboxing the Nicaraguan. Was that enough? Or are the judges going to be swaying towards Mayorga's grit and determination and effort? I think Cory Spinks may have unified the title tonight, but Mayorga's being held aloft. Spinks is up. They both believe they've won it.
Cory Spinks for me by 2.
Absolutely, Nicky. Couldn't agree with you more. I think Cory Spinks did enough. And his boxing was better. And look at there, Michael Spinks has got a smile on his face. I think he believes.
Yeah, I think I agree too. And, you know, it turned out to be a really, really exciting last few rounds. Spinks was definitely tiring, no doubt about that. This is a sign. It was a sort of push, and as he was going down, he hit him with the right hook to the body. There's no way the punch put him down, that's for sure.
Well, well, well. How will the 3 judges do this? You go for Cory Spinks by 2 there.
I do. And I actually scored it 6 rounds even, but of course the 2 points off went against Ricardo Mayorga.
Michael Katz, Spinks by 2. A lot of other reporters at ringside say 1 or 2 Spinks.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm looking around to see if anyone thought Mayorga won that fight. No, there's shakes of heads at ringside. I think the genuine feel here is that the box and move tactics of Cory Spinks were too effective for Mayorga here.
Well, they're congratulating each other.
Michael's in the ring, Leon's in the ring. And look at Cory, he believes the Jinx will strike 3 times. Bernard Hopkins and William Joppy, remember, have the world middleweight title to fight for coming up. Mouth-watering that.
Will be the undisputed welterweight world champion, Arthur Ellenson scores the contest, 114 to 114. Eugene Grant scores it, 114 to 112. John Keane has it, 117 to 110. For the winner by majority decision from St. Louis, Missouri, the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world, Cory, the next generation Spinks.
The US troops are delighted. Cory Spinks continues the jinx in the family. He's in tears. This is his defining night. He becomes the world welterweight unified champion, and English judge John Keane by 7 helped make it a majority win deservedly.
Well, if any of the judges was to look at the better boxing ability, it was John Keane, the Englishman. That's our style, you know. And although I scored 6 each, and the 2 points taken off of the illegal blows by Mayorga, I did feel Spinks was the cuter, the most stylish fighter.
His emotion with Wally Matthews now going to Ricardo Mayorga, who looks desolate.
Que no tenía por qué bajarme los puntos que me bajó.
I thought the referee wasn't on my side. He didn't have to take those points away from me. I'm not on the side with that.
Obviously, the 2 points were a big blow to your chances to win the fight. But what about the movement of Spinks in the southpaw style? Did that bother you?
Dice que obviamente la quita de puntos fue importante en la decisión, pero ¿crees tú que el movimiento de Spinks tuvo algo que ver con eso?
No. El referee me jodió.
Not at all.
Él no presentaba pelea, él se quitaba y todo.
Not at all. The referee.
So you think that is all the referee? All right, Ricardo, thank you very much. You heard it from Ricardo Mayorga. All the referees' fault. Back to Barry.
Wow. Cory Spinks is still embracing the family. Look at Michael and Leon. There's the generation, the next generation, Cory Spinks. It's the night of his boxing life, and look at him enjoy it. And I think the crowd and everybody at ringside knows who won that fight.
Oh yeah, I think Spinks had more to do with it than the referee, of course.
A hug from Don King, who gave him the opportunity. Wally Matthews will get a word.
Cory, we need you over here. Cory, congratulations. You did put a lot of... Terrific display of sportsmanship. Look at this.
Que me perdone por la grosería que nos vení. Y que llore, porque él sabe que lindo ganarse.
We were talking earlier about the sport and what a bunch of good guys there are in the sport of boxing. And I think right there you got a good example of what the sport's all about.
There's a lot of good guys in boxing. You may talk trash before the fight, but afterwards you always see them hard.
All right, now let's go back to the
Scene here, a very emotional scene between Ricardo Mayorga and Cory Spinks. I'm going to find out right now. Cory, can you tell us what Ricardo said to you? All right, guys. All right, guys. Let him have his moment here on TV, please. Cory, congratulations. What did Ricardo Mayorga say to you?
He said, I'm a great champion, and he was apologizing for all the bad things he said. He was just saying it was his show, and I can respect that. You know, he was a man to come up to me and apologize. I can't do nothing but respect that, like nice sportsmanship.
Well, it was a great effort by you tonight. Obviously, not almost the equal of what your dad had done 25 years ago. It seemed as if Mayorga was trying to take you out of your game plan, but you stayed in it from beginning to end. How were you able to do that?
I told you I was a smart fighter, man. I'm not going to get into that. But, you know, I also had to land some of my big shots, too.
Now, what about his punching power? He did seem to hit you with some real big punches, but you made him miss the follow-up.
I kept telling you, I don't trip off that. I'm a grown man. I handles my own. I've been hit hard before. I've been hit hard all my life. by my big brothers and everything. I do not trip off that. I'm a man, not a boy.
And what about the pressure that he put on you throughout the fight? You were able to stay with your movement, stay with your jab?
I've been getting pressure my whole career, so it wasn't a big thing. I just did what I normally do, box.
All right, now all the big fights that were supposed to be out there for him, Oscar De La Hoya, Shane Mosley, they were all out there for you. Who do you want to take on
I
next?
want Shane Mosley.
Why do you say Shane Mosley?
Because they the one that been talking big about just overlooking me and everything. We want them all. We want them all, baby. We want them all. We're not scared of no one. We coming. We coming.
Did you have any doubt at all, considering the way boxing decisions don't always go to the guy who seems to have won the fight, that you were going to win this?
That's the problem with guys. You don't supposed to trip off that if you're a fighter. You let your coaches and your promoters or whatever worry about that. You as a fighter, you keep your head and go in there and do what you have to do.
Well, you certainly kept your head tonight. A tremendous performance by Cory Spinks. Congratulations. Let's go back to ringside.
And Hopkins must follow shortly for our top of the
ring here. He's had the pressure of trying to live up to the Spinks name. Father Leon, who joins Cory in the corner tonight for the first time, and Uncle Michael, both heavyweight champions of the world. He's had the adversity of losing his brother and best friend. Both were murdered. Tough, tough life, but he's blessed with skills. He's big-hearted, and he may be small, but he says, Glenn, that he'll leave the ring as the new world middleweight champion.
Well, let's hope he's concentrating a bit more on his boxing than he is on his rap music and his ring walk, because, you know, he's moving up in weight to go in with Jermaine Taylor, who is a very good fighter.
He came in like this when he fought Zab Judah for the second time in front of 22,000 people in St. Louis, and he got stopped that night. Then he said his mind wasn't on the job. He was also a pound over at the chaotic weigh-in last night. That was surprising, because he's won world titles at welterweight and light middleweight. In he comes to the 11 stone 6 division.
Well, we've seen some ring entrances, but this one kind of takes them all.
Well, he's enjoying it, and the fans seem to be. Plenty from St. Louis have made the short journey. But it's hard to find many critics who believe Spinks can pull off the upset.
Well, he does have speed, he has good skills. He's going to be trying to use his boxing to the full.
The leading middleweight on earth. But there is pressure. Jermaine Taylor, possessed with decent all-round ability that's proved largely unpenetrable to date. He's a well-groomed role model, but people have been rounding on him to really perform here. One or two of his defenses have seemed strange and lethargic. He's found a way to win, but if he wants to become a great, does he need to make some serious statements, Glenn?
He certainly does. We need to see him live up to that nickname, Bad Intentions, because that's what he's going to need in the fight. His last four, he hasn't really impressed. They have been with very good fighters, but this is one where he needs to show how good he really is.
Vital night for Jermaine Taylor. He says some of his performances have not been up to scratch. This will be, and he will remind the boxing world quite why he's the number one. Emmanuel Stewart there, his trainer, the legend.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the FedEx Forum of Memphis, Tennessee, DeBella Entertainment, in association with Don King Productions, are proud to present the main event of the evening, 12 rounds of boxing for the middleweight Championship of the World. Sanctioned by the Tennessee Boxing Commission, Commissioner Meredith Sullivan, WBC President Jose Suleiman, WBO President Francisco Valcarcel. At ringside, the 3 judges scoring this bout on a 10-point system: Dick Flaherty, Michael Pernick, and Gail Van Oy. And inside the ring, your referee in charge of the action, Michael Ortega. And now, for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner, wearing blue, official weight 160 pounds. His professional record, 39 bouts, 36 victories, including 11 knockouts, with 3 defeats. From St. Louis, Missouri, the challenger for undisputed welterweight world champion and current IBF light middleweight champion of the world, Cory, the next generation Spinks. And across the ring, fighting out of the red corner, wearing maroon, also weighing in officially at 160 pounds. His professional record, 27 bouts, 26 victories, including 17 KOs with 1 draw. From Little Rock, Arkansas, presenting the undefeated middleweight champion of the world, Jermaine Bad Intentions Hill.
Good atmosphere here inside the FedEx Forum. Local fighters ready for battle.
Gentlemen, we went over the rules. Want a good team fight? Protect yourself at all times. Obey my commands at all times. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up.
Old friends, but now Southern foes. Little Rock's tall, strong, solid world middleweight champion Jermaine Taylor, and the quick-fire, cagey St. Louis southpaw Cory Spinks up in this division for the first time ever. Tactics crucial here, Glenn. What will they be from the opening bell?
Well, we've got to be looking for Spinks to move and try and get the combinations off. Taylor, he's the champion, needs to fight like a champion and win this well.
The light blue and red with Spinks Jinx on the front of his trunks, the 29-year-old Cory, who's had the psychological edge of being around his father all week, who helps out in the corner and is just alongside us at ringside.
Well, he should be starting to get used to southpaws now, shouldn't he, Taylor? He's had a few recently.
Yep, Ronald Winky Wright, who he got the draw against, and then last time out, he was cautious and an erratic performance against Kasim Uma in front of his home crowd, about a couple of hours away from here in Little Rock. Popular champion Taylor.
Both looking to land shots there. Taylor the right, Spinks the left. Both connected.
Does size matter? The good big un against the good little un. Trying to extend the jab straight away, Taylor. Emmanuel Stewart's told him to back Spinks up, go on the front foot, and the Spinks camp are worried about that jab and how they get past it.
Well, he's got the height, he's got the reach. He does look quite a bit bigger, really, doesn't he? Although I believe they're the same weight this evening.
Yeah, both 12-1 on the night, but the naturally bigger and stronger man is Jermaine Taylor. Nice punch from Cory Spinks, who told us this week he's going to get into a rhythm and use his brain to outbox Taylor. Believes he's the better fighter.
Well, neither really had much success so far. Been just trying to work their way in, find a little gap. But a very, very even round.
Interestingly, Glenn, they've got different gloves on tonight as well. Jermaine Taylor with the raised, the puncher gloves, and the grant of Cory Spinks. Close first round. Good work from Spinks at the end.
I was walking through reception. The floor was wet with no warning signs. I fell and seriously injured my...
Well, wasn't a great deal happened in the opening round. Both landed there. Spinks probably got a stronger shot on with his left, but hasn't really started to work its way out this fight yet.
Many felt it would be a tight, cagey affair, but what's Cory Spinks got to win this? Needs his speed to continue moving around Taylor. Good left hand. Taylor didn't seem to like that very much. Might just buzz away, Spinks.
Yeah, I think it's got to be a mixture of the fast hands and lots of movement in and out of the range, score, and then be away. You know, he's got to get off with shots, but not be there for Taylor to counter.
Attempting to establish the jab, Jermaine Taylor. Emmanuel Stewart was saying at the press conference this week that he showed the heart of a champion to get through against Cassie Mooma because he ran out of gas after 4 rounds. It was a worrying admission.
Yes, very worrying. If you're the champion, you shouldn't be running out of gas over 12 rounds. There's plenty in the tank. Better from Spinks in this round. He's just starting to use his speed.
Now, there have been questions about the desire of Jermaine Taylor, how much he really wants to be a world champion. He's achieved so much at the age of 28, defeating Bernard Hopkins, albeit controversially a couple of times, to take the mantle. Can he move on from there?
Well, he's got to motivate himself tonight, because Spinks is the sort of fighter that'll be looking to steal a decision. And if he's not motivated, Taylor, he mightn't have the work rate.
It's a good start this from Cory Spinks, whose fast hands could give him a real chance. May have to get rounds in the bank.
But this is the way we expect Spinks to perform here. Heads just banging together there.
Taylor hasn't had a knockout win since February 2005 when he stopped Daniel Edouard in 3 rounds. Spinks has only got 11 stoppage wins all through his career, so he'll probably have to do it the long way.
Smart boxing for Spinks in the second round. Just stealing a few extra punches, then not being there for the counters.
Yep, Taylor hasn't got started yet. Leon Spinks with the baseball cap, who shocked the world in only his 8th fight by beating Muhammad Ali back in 1978.
Yes, and he's in the corner in spirit, I think, because he's not doing an awful lot there, is he?
But it's great just to have him here, Glenn. He's had a hard few years.
Yeah, I think he's just there, you know, he's there supporting his son.
He told us the Spinks jinx will carry on. Looked good in training this week when we saw him, Cory. Very fit, very confident. Just thinks he has more ability than his old pal. 78-3 in the amateurs. World champion at 2 weights. A class act.
Well, Taylor knows him pretty well. They've been friendly in the past, but you know, friendship's lost when you've got business in hand.
And Spinks has had his ups and downs and come back from them. 3 defeats on the record, an early one to Antonio Diaz. Michele Pichirillo, the Italian, beat him, and then Zab Judah stopped him. Judah, funnily enough, who's been around this week, believes Spinks wins on points.
Well, that's the first decent shot from Taylor. That was a decent right hand. We need more of that. He's got to start forcing the fight, walking Spinks down, cutting the ring off.
Yeah, because this is a light middleweight who's coming up. Needs to be dominant here, Taylor. And he's been rattled this week. Has a good right hand. He's been angry, which we haven't seen before. And that's maybe starting to come through now.
Just starting to land with right hands, doing a little bit more work. Taylor just catching the jab from Spinks and then looking to counter with the right.
They're raw and emotional about this lack of respect that he feels. Quite an outburst this week. Right hand there. Spinks tries to get out of the way a bit. He's going to have to be very quick on his feet to outfox Taylor.
Yeah, Taylor just starting to get the timing right. Doing very well defensively. None of these punches that Spinks has thrown have landed. Caught them on the gloves.
Get tighter here. More accurate, Jermaine Taylor. Spinks not getting through. Taylor believes he's a very, very difficult man to beat, and nobody has done it yet. Good round for Taylor.
Puncher. The only way he can get a knockdown because you'll be off balance. But if you keep putting them tacks together, he can't let you punch a punch. Yes, sir. So just step to it a little bit more. Yes, sir.
The infamous voice of Emmanuel Stewart. Yes, sir. Jermaine was answering. Polite young man, isn't he?
Yes, he is. Very polite. He's a, you know, he's good example for in the sport and just starting to land with good right hands.
That's a real role model in Little Rock.